Hello, and welcome to Immune System Day 3. Our aim is the same as all the other days of the immune system. How does the immune system maintain homeostasis? But today we're going to be talking about some overreactions of the immune system. So, the drill. Every time we see homeostasis, we got to remember that's a super big highlight for you. We got to remember that it means a stable internal environment. And how does our immune system help us maintain a stable internal environment? And how can sometimes our immune system's attempts to help our body maintain homeostasis backfire? So, the do now question asks, why do you think some people are allergic to non-threatening items like peanuts? For example, someone with a peanut allergy may die if not treated. And by the end of this handout, we're going to go back up top and answer that question. So let's start with a little reading here about allergies. Part A. Part A, allergies. Allergic reactions result from overactivity of the immune system. During an allergic reaction, the body's immune system responds inappropriately. So the body's immune system is responding inappropriately to common substances such as dust, mold, pollen, or certain foods by producing a special type of antibody to them. So what do we know about antibodies? Well, antibodies are produced in response to pathogens. So our immune system is producing an antibody that is attacking these common substances, such as dust, mold, pollen, or certain foods like peanuts, as if they were a pathogen. The immune system attacks the peanuts as if they were harmful pathogenic invaders or just pathogens. So the immune system confuses a common substance, something that is not harmful to you, as a harm-causing substance. And what that means is that your body is having an immune response to something that isn't actually going to make you sick. And that's what allergies are. In most people, these substances do not cause an allergic reaction or production of antibodies. These antibodies cause the cells to release substances, including histamines, which cause many allergic symptoms, such as extra fluid in the nasal pathways, difficulty breathing, or hives. The allergies are often treated with antihistamines, which are drugs that stop the release of histamines. So what is an allergy? Allergies develop when the immune system produces antibodies in response to non-harmful substances. This immune system overreaction so this is like your immune system being too strong, kind of, right? This immune system overreaction is harmful and is called an allergic reaction. This is similar to an immune response. An allergic reaction, the difference is there's nothing to attack. So what can occur is, for example, anaphylaxis. So anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a swelling in the trachea, which is obviously not supposed to swell. That is your windpipe, and that can lead to an inability to take in oxygen. So in general, right, an immune system response typically includes inflammation. In the case of an allergic reaction, these histamines are causing inflammation, fluid in the nasal pathways, difficulty breathing, and hives. That's all inflammation. And then the most dangerous inflammation of the airways is anaphylaxis. And this can lead to death, right? You can't breathe, you can die. So if you've ever known someone that has a peanut allergy, especially, which is known to cause this reaction, anaphylaxis, they may carry a device with them called an EpiPen. And an EpiPen stops anaphylaxis or halts this immune response through the release of epinephrine, which is a hormone that is typically released in response to like excitable events. But this epinephrine prevents inflammation, causes your body to sort of calm down in an immune response, but it also makes your heart race and can have other bad side effects. But of course, it's very critically important to people that might develop anaphylaxis. So the most important thing to remember about allergies is allergies are caused by an immune overreaction to something that is common, something that typically would not make you sick, right? So it's involving all the other elements of an immune response, but in this case, it's an allergic reaction because the thing that you're responding to isn't actually harmful. The symptoms of an allergic reaction can come on really suddenly if you're in a new environment and exposed to the allergen. So let's talk about now a time when you want your immune system to make antibodies when you take a vaccine. So vaccinations are weakened microorganisms or parts of them that stimulate the immune system to react by recognizing specific antigens. This reaction provides the body with immunity, the ability to resist an infection. It does so by preparing the body to fight subsequent invasions by the same microorganisms, and that's key there, or microbes, because they recognize the invaders and produce specific antibodies against them. People are now given harmless antigens and vaccines to offer protection against a number of diseases, right? So there's a vaccine for COVID-19 now, we know. There are vaccines for measles, mumps, rubella, polio, right? These are vaccines that you probably got as a child or before starting school. And vaccines are inoculations made of weakened microorganisms. Or pathogens in the case of a virus. And how do vaccines work? Vaccines work by introducing the antigen to your body. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? This is COVID. Nice to meet you. but in a non-harmful way, right? So they can produce, you can think of it sort of like going into the batting range, right? To practice when you're going to play baseball. You practice all these times at the batting range. That way, when you're actually in a game and the pitcher throws that curveball, you're ready to swing and get a home run. I'm not good at sports, but I imagine that's how it all works, right? So it's not the actual virus. It's not the actual bacteria that's going to make you sick. Instead, it's just a little piece, right? It's just a little part of the game. It's just the batting cage. It's not the whole thing. And in doing that, your body is prepared for the next time it encounters that pathogen. And when it encounters that pathogen again, it has the antibodies already prepared to attack it. Vaccines, let's go ahead and fix that. Vaccines work by introducing the antigen in a weakened form So for example, in that case, just the antigen without the actual pathogen attached in a weakened form so that our immune system can develop antibodies specific to that pathogen. All right, so now let's do a little practice. And these might be more fun if you do them by yourself, like pause the video now, do it by yourself, and then come back and go through the answers with me, okay? So, a student was visiting a friend at her home. Her friend owned 2 cats. After playing with the cats for a while, the student began to sneeze. Her nose began to run and her eyes became red, watery, and itchy. It also became hard for her to breathe. A few minutes after, okay, she's a student, she's visiting a friend at her home, and her friend has cats. After playing with the cats, she began to sneeze. Her nose began to run, her eyes became red, watery, and itchy, and it became hard for her to breathe. A few minutes after leaving her friend's home, the symptoms disappeared. Provide a biological explanation for the symptoms the girl developed in her friend's house. So, state one reason why her symptoms are not likely due to an infectious agent. Well, her symptoms disappeared as soon as she left her friend's house. So if she, for example, had the flu or a cold, she would likely continue to feel sick, right? But in this case, her symptoms disappeared. What could have caused these symptoms? Identify the type of reaction the student was most likely experiencing. So there's cats. It's hard for her to breathe. She began to sneeze. Her nose began to run. Uh-oh, it sounds like a reaction to an allergen or something that causes an allergic reaction. In this case, I'm guessing the cats. So the student was experiencing an allergic reaction. And what is the body system responsible for triggering the allergic reaction? Why, the immune system, of course. So again, you can see why maybe that's a little bit more fun to do by yourself before going through the answers with me, right? But yeah, she's allergic to cats. So, describe how a flu vaccine protects the human body. State one reason why the flu vaccine does not protect a person from other viral diseases such as measles. Well, there is a vaccine for measles, but the flu vaccine introduces specific influenza, that's the technical name for the virus that causes the flu, influenza antigens which lead to antibodies for that specific virus. Not others. So vaccines cause a specific response. How does the immune system react to the vaccine? Well, the immune system recognizes so it recognizes the antigen as harmful, right? So it develops antibodies. And I know these words are kind of similar to each other, right? Antigen is bad, antibodies is good. And then if you need to take something to help you recover from a bacterial infection, you might take antibiotics. And all these words mean different things. So I'm going to go ahead and share some immune system vocabulary with you guys to help keep these terms straight. So that'll be, I believe, attached to this assignment. If not, otherwise I'll post it on Google Classroom as part of your review before this exam, but I digress. Developing antibodies to target the pathogen and prevent illness. Or infection. Identify what substances are in the flu vaccine that stimulates immunity. Weakened influenza pathogen, or in this case, we know the pathogen is a virus, and the specific part that they put in the vaccine are the antigens. And again, you can think of the pathogen is like sort of this substance here, the circle, but the antigens are not actually the part that makes you sick, but it is what our immune system recognizes. So the antigens are on the outside, and it really helps that this year we're really familiar with seeing the viral particle, right? That kind of looks like COVID. And what you're actually getting in your arm when you get the shot is these parts on the outside of the virus. But the great news is the way our immune system works is that is all we need to develop the appropriate immune response to the virus. Pretty cool stuff. And that stimulates our immunity so that we don't get sick. So go ahead and complete your exit ticket. And that is all we have for the immune system. Today's aim was, how does the immune system maintain homeostasis? Go ahead and look out for the immune system vocabulary and have a super fantastic day. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.